Chapter 3, Prospectus and Allotment of Securities. Part 1, Public Offer. Public Offer and Private Placement. A public company may issue securities, and these are the conditions. First, to public through prospectus, herein referred to as public offer, by complying with the provisions of this part, or through private placement by complying with the provisions of part 2 of this chapter, or through a right issue of or a bonus issue in accordance with the provision of this act in the case of a listed company or a company which intends to get its securities listed with the provisions of Securities and Exchange Board of India Act in 1992 and the rules and regulations made thereunder. Second, a private company may issue securities by way of rights issues or bonus issue in accordance with the provisions of this act, or through private placement by complying with the provisions of part 2 of the chapter. For the purpose of this chapter, public offer includes initial public offer or further public offers of security to the public by the company, or an offer for sale of securities to the public by an existing shareholder through issues of a prospectus. Power of Securities and Exchange Board to regulate issue and transfer of securities, etc. The provisions contained in this chapter, chapter 4, and in section 127 shall, in so far as they relate to issue and transfer of securities and non-payment of dividend by listed companies or those companies which intend to get their securities listed on any recognized stock exchange in India, except as provided under this act, be administered by the Securities and Exchange Board by making regulations on its behalf. In any other cases, in any other case, be administered by the central government. For the removal of doubts, it is hereby declared that all powers relating to all other matters relating to prospectus, return of allotment, redemption of preference shares, and any other matter specifically provided in this act shall be exercised by central government, the tribunal, or the registrar, as the case may be. The Securities and Exchange Board shall, in respect of matters specified in subsection 1 and the matters delegated to it under proviso to subsection 1 of section 458, exercise the power conferred upon it under subsections 1, 2a, 3, and 4 of section 11, sections 11a, 11b, and 11d of the Securities and Exchange Board of India Act 1992. Document containing offer of securities for sale to be deemed prospectus. Where a company allots or agrees to allot any securities of the company with view to all or any of those securities being offered for sale to the public, any document by which the offer for sale to the public is made shall, for all purpose, be deemed to be prospectus issued by the company, and all enactments and rules of law as to the content of prospectus and as to liability in respect of misstatements in the omissions from prospectus or otherwise relating to prospectus shall apply with the modifications specified in subsection 3 and 4, and shall have effect accordingly as if the securities had been offered to the public for subscription, and as if person accepting the offer in respect to any securities were subscribers for those securities, but without prejudice to the liability, if any, of the person by whom the offer is made in respect of misstatements contained in the document or otherwise in respect thereof. For the purpose of this act, it shall, unless the contrary is proved, be evidence that an allotment of or an agreement to allot securities was made with a view to the securities being offered for sale to the public, if it is shown, first of all, that an offer of the securities or of any of them for sale to the public was made within 6 months after the allotment or agreement to allot, or that at the date when the offer was made, the whole consideration to be received by the company in respect of securities had not been received by it. Section 26 as applied by this section or shall have effect as if it required a prospectus to state, in addition to the matters required by that section to be stated in a prospectus, the net amount of the consideration received or to be received by the company in respect of the securities to which the offer relates, and the time and place at which the contract were under the said securities have been or are to be allotted may be inspected. The persons making the offer were persons named in prospectus as directors of the company. Fourth, where a person making an offer to which this section relates is a company or a firm, it shall be sufficient if the document referred to in the subsection 1 is signed on behalf of the company or firm by two directors of the company or by not less than one and a half of the partners in the firm, as the case may be. Matters to be stated in prospectus. Every prospectus issued by or on behalf of a public company, either with reference to its formation or subsequently, or or on behalf of any person who is or has been engaged or interested in the formation of a public company, shall be dated and signed and shall state the following information, namely, first of all, the name and address of the registered office of the company, company secretary, chief financial officer, auditors, legal advisors, bankers, trustees, if any, underwriters, and such other persons as may be prescribed. Second, dates of the opening and closing of the issue, and declaration about the issue of allotment letters and refund within the prescribed time. Third, a statement by the board of directors about the separate bank account where all monies received out of the issues are to be transferred, and disclosure of details of all monies, including utilized and unutilized monies out of the previous issue in the prescribed manner. Fourth, details about underwriting of the issue. Fifth, consent of the directors, auditors, bankers to the issue, experts' opinion, if any, and of such other persons as may be prescribed. The authority for the issue and details of the resolution passed, therefore, procedure and time schedule for allotment and issue of securities, capital structure of the company in the prescribed manner, main object of the public offer, terms of the present issue, and such other particulars as may be prescribed, main objects and present business of the company and its location, schedule of implementation of the project. 11th, particulars relating to management perception of risk factors specific to the project, gestation period of the project, extent of progress made in project, deadlines for completion of the project, and any litigation or legal action pending or taken by a government department or a statutory body during the last 5 years immediately preceding the year of the issue of prospectus against the promoter of the company, minimum subscription amount payable by way of premium, issue of shares otherwise than on cash. Details of directors including their appointments and remunerations, and such particulars of the nature and extent of their interest in the company as may be prescribed, and disclosure in such manner as may be prescribed about sources of promoters' contribution. Every prospectus issued by or on behalf of public company, either with reference to its formation or subsequently, or by or on behalf of any person who is or has been engaged or interested in the formation of a public company, shall be dated and signed, and shall set out the following reports for the purpose of financial information, namely reports of the auditors by the company with respect to its profits and losses and assets and liabilities and such other matters as may be prescribed. Reports relating to profits and losses for each of the 5 financial years immediately preceding the financial year of the issue of prospectus, including such reports of such subsidiaries and in such manner as may be prescribed. Provided that in case of a company with respect to which a period of 5 years has not elapsed from the date of incorporation, the prospectus shall set out in such manner as may be prescribed the reports relating to profits and losses for each of the financial years immediately preceding the financial year of the issue of prospectus, including such reports of its subsidiaries. Reports made in prescribed manner by the auditors upon the profits and losses of the businesses of the company for each of the 5 financial years immediately preceding issue and assets and liabilities of its businesses on the last date to which the account of the business were made up, being a date not more than 180 days before the issue of the prospectus, provided that in the case of the company with respect to which a period of 5 years has not elapsed from the date of incorporation, the prospectus shall set out in a prescribed manner the reports made by the auditors upon the profits and losses of the business of the company for all financial years from the date of its incorporation and assets and liabilities of its business on the last date before the issue of the prospectus, and reports about the business and or transaction to which the proceeds of the securities are to be applied directly or indirectly. Make a declaration about the compliance of the provisions of this Act and a statement to the effect that nothing in the prospectus is contrary to the provisions of this Act and Securities Contract Regulation Act 1956, 42 of 1956 and Securities and Exchange Board of India Act 1992, 15 of 1992 and the rules and regulation made thereunder, and state such other matters and set out such other reports as may be prescribed. Nothing in subsection 1 shall apply to a issue to existing members or debenture holders of a company of a prospectus or a form of application relating to shares in or debentures of the company, whether an applicant has a right to renounce the shares or not under subclause 2 of clause A of subsection 1 and section 62 in favor of any other person, or to issue of a prospectus of or form of application relating to shares or debentures which are or are to be in all prospectus uniforms with shares or debentures previously issued and for the time being dealt in or quoted on a recognized stock exchange. Subject to subsection 2, the provisions of subsection 1 shall apply to a prospectus or a form of application, whether issue on or with reference to the formation of the company or subsequently. The date indicated in the prospectus shall be deemed to be the date of its publication. Fourth, no prospectus shall be issued by or on behalf of a company or in relation to an intended company unless on or before the date of its publication there has been delivered to the registrar for registration a copy thereof signed by every person who is named therein as director or proposed director of the company by his duly authorized attorney. A prospectus issued under subsection 1 shall not include a statement purporting to be made by an expert unless the expert is a person who is not and has not been engaged or interested in the formation or promotion of the management of the company and has given his written consent to the issue of the prospectus and has not withdrawn such consent before the delivery of a copy of the prospectus to the registrar for registration, and a statement to that effect shall be included in the prospectus. Every prospectus issued under subsection 1 shall, on the face of it, state that a copy has been delivered for registration to the registrar as required under subsection 4, specify any documents required by this section to be attached to the company so delivered, or referred to statements included in the prospectus which specify these documents. The registrar shall not register a prospectus unless the requirement of this section with respect to its registration are complied with, and the prospectus is accompanied by the consent in writing of all persons named in the prospectus. No prospectus shall be valid if it is issued more than 90 days after the date on which a copy thereof is delivered to the registrar under subsection 4. If a prospectus is issued in contravention to the provisions of this Act, the company shall be punishable with fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees, but which may extend to 3 lakh rupees, and every person who is knowingly a party to the issue of such prospectus shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years, or with fine, and which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees, but which may extend to 3 lakh rupees, or with both. Variation in terms of contract or objects in prospectus. A company shall not at any time vary the terms of a contract referred to the prospectus or objects for which the prospectus was issued, except subject to the approval of, or except subject to an authority given by the company in general meeting by way of special resolution, provided that the details as may be prescribed of the notice in the respect of such resolution to shareholders shall also be published in newspapers, one in English and one in a vernacular language, in the city where the registered office of the company is situated, indicating clearly the justification of such variation, provided further that such company shall not use any amount raised by it through prospectus for buying, trading, or otherwise dealing in equity shares or any other listed company. The dissenting shareholders being those shareholders who have not agreed to the proposal to vary the term of contracts or objects referred to in the prospectus shall be given an exit offer by promoters or controlling shareholders at such exit price and in such manner and conditions as may be specified by the Securities and Exchange Board by making regulations on its behalf. Offer of sale of shares by certain members of company. Where certain members of a company propose, in consultation with the board of directors, to offer in accordance with the provisions of any law for the time being in force, whole or part of their holdings of shares to the public, they may do so in accordance with such procedure as may be prescribed. Any document by which the offer of sale to the public is made shall, for all purposes, be deemed to be a prospectus issued by the company, and all laws and rules made thereunder as to the contents of the prospectus and as to liability in respect of misstatements in and omission from prospectus or otherwise relating to prospectus shall apply as if this is a prospectus issued by the company. The members, whether individuals or bodies, corporate or both, whose shares are proposed to be offered to the public shall collectively authorize the company whose shares are offered on sale to the public to take all actions in respect to offer of sale for and on their behalf, and they shall reimburse the company all expenses incurred by it on this matter. Public offer of securities to be in dematerialized form. Notwithstanding anything contained in any other provisions of this Act, every company making public offer and such other class or classes of public companies as may be prescribed shall issue the securities only in dematerialized form by complying with the provisions of the Depositories Act 1996, 22nd of 1996, and the regulations made thereunder. Any company other than a company mentioned in subsection 1 may convert these securities into dematerialized form or issue its securities in physical form in accordance with the provisions of this Act, or in dematerialized form in accordance with the provisions of the Depositories Act 1996 and the regulations made thereunder. Advertisement of prospectus. Whether an advertisement of any prospectus of a company is published in any manner, it shall be necessary to specify therein the contents of its memorandum as regards the objects and the liabilities of members and the amount of share capital of the company, and the names of the signatories of the memorandum and the number of shares subscribed by them, and its capital structure. Shelf prospectus. Any class or classes of companies, as the Securities and Exchange Board may provide by regulation on its behalf, may file a shelf prospectus with the registrar at any stage of the first offer of securities included therein, which shall indicate a period not exceeding 1 year as the period of validity of such prospectus, which shall commence from the date of opening of the first offer of securities under that prospectus, and in respect of a second or subsequent offer of such securities issued during the period of validity of that prospectus, no further prospectus is required. A company filing a shelf prospectus shall be required to file an information memorandum containing all material facts relating to new charges created, changes in the financial position of the company as have occurred between the first offer of security or the previous offer of securities and the succeeding offer of securities, and such other changes as may be prescribed with the registrar within a prescribed time prior to the issue of a second or subsequent offer of securities under the self prospectus. Provided that where a company or any other person has received application for the allotment of securities along with advance payments of subscription before the making of any such change, the company or any other person shall intimate the changes to such applicants, and if they express a desire to withdraw their application, the company or other person shall refund all the monies received as subscription within 15 days thereof. Where an information memorandum is filed every time an offer of securities is made under subsection 2, such memorandum together with the self prospectus shall be deemed to be a prospectus. Explanation. For the purpose of this section, the expression shelf prospectus means a prospectus in respect of which the securities or class of securities included therein are issued for subscription in one or more issues over a certain period without the issue of a further prospectus. Red herring prospectus. A company proposing to make an offer of securities may issue a red herring prospectus prior to the issue of a prospectus. A company proposing to issue a red herring prospectus under subsection 1 shall file it with the registrar at least 3 days prior to the opening of the subscription list and the offer. A red herring prospectus shall carry same obligations as are applicable to the prospectus, and any variation between the red herring prospectus and our prospectus shall be highlighted as variations in the prospectus. Upon the closing of the offer of securities under this section, the prospectus stating therein the total capital raised, whether by way of debt or share capital, and the closing price of the securities and any other such details are not included in the red herring prospectus, shall be filed with the registrar and the Securities and Exchange Board. For the purpose of this section, an expression red herring prospectus means a prospectus which does not include complete particulars of a quantum or price of the securities included therein. Issues of application forms for securities. No form of application for the purpose of any of the securities of a company shall be issued unless such form is accompanied by an abridged prospectus, provided that nothing in this subsection shall apply if it is shown that the form of application was issued in connection with a bona fide invitation to a person to enter into an underwriting agreement with respect to such securities, or in relation to securities which were not offered to the public. A copy of prospectus shall, on a request being made by any person before the closing of subscription list and the offer, be furnished to him. If a company makes any default in complying with the provisions of this section, it shall be liable to a penalty of 50,000 rupees for each default. Criminal liability for misstatement in prospectus. Where a prospectus issued, circulated or distributed under this chapter includes any statements which is untrue or misleading in the form or context in which it is included, or where any inclusion or omission of any matter is likely to mislead, every person who authorizes the issue of such prospectus shall be liable under section 447, provided that nothing in this section shall apply to a person if he proves that such statements or omission was immaterial, or that he had reasonable grounds to believe and did up to the time of issue of prospectus believe that the statement was true, or the inclusion or omission was necessary.